Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Late Pizza. Doing things a little bit differently today, starting with the backdrop and moving through to the content. Music is a universal language. Its melodies, notes, and words transcend communication and manage to tap into a spiritual energy that can entrance and connect any listener regardless of gender, nationality, or background. Music is the thread of the universe that connects us all. What's up, dudes? I'm your host, Steve-O, and today we'll be taking a detour from all things TMNT, action figure related, to discuss my personal top 5 albums of all time. Now, just to be clear, these are the 5 albums that mean the most and formed me as a person the most in my formative years. Everyone discovers parts of their personality and their passions through their favorite albums, so this isn't a ranking or a top 5 of all time or anything like that. This is just the top 5 albums that mean the most to me personally. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the list with number 5. Number 5, Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears. Ozzy's album No More Tears, released in, I believe, 1998, I'll have to fact check that one, is one of my favorite metal albums of all time. It's one of my top Ozzy albums. This is the very first CD that I remember purchasing for myself with my own money. I believe it was in 9th grade. And this is still the original copy that I bought from my local mall at my local FYE store. If you're a viewer that's under the age of 30, give FYE a Google. It's sorely missed. I am a huge Ozzy fan. If you can tell, back of my jacket, Ozzy patch. I'm also a big Black Sabbath fan, which is coming up later on in the video. But No More Tears is just an absolute banger of an album from start to finish. Ozzy coming out hard in the 90s, proving to everybody that he is still the godfather of heavy metal. He is still the Prince of Darkness. This album rocks. Starting off strong with Mr. Tinker Train, all the way through to the bonus tracks, Party with the Animals from the Buffy the Vampire film soundtrack. Every track on here is guaranteed to be a hit. No More Tears. It released in 1991. I said 1998. The disc says 2002. I'm sure it's a reissue. I clearly was not old enough to be purchasing this album in 1991. But still, my fact stands. Ozzy coming out strong in the 90s right off the bat with an absolute classic. Number 4. Paradise, Lana Del Rey. Now, just based on appearances, maybe on the backdrop, maybe on the metal vest, maybe just my face and my voice and all of these other things that you've learned about me through the channel, you might not have me pegged as a Lana Del Rey fan, but you would be dead wrong. Paradise is a fantastic album. In fact, Lana Del Rey is right up there with another artist that I'll mention later as one of the people that I don't have a bad album. I would say Lust for Life maybe dipped a little for me with too many features, but every album that Lana has released has just been musical perfection to me. I love the melodies. I love her voice. I love the lyrics that she works with and this 1950s Americana style that she infuses into all of her work. Paradise in particular has one of my favorite songs of all time, Ride, the long version. If you can watch the music video for that, get a hold of it. That's a piece of modern day music video art. But yeah, Lana Del Rey, Paradise, that's going to be my number 4 pick. Excellent album if you're into any kind of female vocals, pop, or that 1950s aesthetic like I mentioned earlier. Definitely pick that one up and give it a listen. Number 3, Kids, Mac Miller. Once again, coming from another musical direction, I'm very eclectic in my musical tastes. I listen to, I would say, metal and rock more than most other things, but I listen to just about everything. Rock, metal, country, rap, hip-hop, easy listening, anything that grabs my ear that I like the sound of. I don't really care for, pigeonholing people into genres. But back to the album at hand. Kids, Mac Miller, released in 2010. Mac Miller was an incredible talent, obviously gone way too early from unfortunate circumstances. But Kids is an absolute banger of an album from start to finish. I remember hearing Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza for the first time on like early days YouTube and just being blown away by how much I was able to connect with this experience that I didn't have. You know, this kid like walking around New York City, getting out of his parents' house, trying to find some fun, trying to get into trouble, but not too much trouble. I come from a small town, but I was huge into skateboarding, also getting into trouble, but not too much trouble. And Mac's lyrics just connect with everything that you feel as like a late teenager or an early young adult, just trying to get out there in the summer and enjoy life before the pressures of life catch up to you. So yeah, number 3 spot, Mac Miller, Kids, fantastic album. Number 2, Paranoid, Black Sabbath. Back to where the list started at, Black Sabbath's album Paranoid, released in 1970. Yes, 1970, is just fantastic, start to finish masterclass in classic metal. These guys came out of nowhere and said, we don't like the music that we're hearing. Here's a brand new genre for you to crank it up to 11 and just go hard into the lyrics about witchcraft, sorcery, devils, black magic, all of the things that you weren't supposed to be singing about on the radio. These guys from Birmingham said, you know what, we're going to go for it, and we're going to pump out some of the best and hardest and heaviest music that you could ever hear. I know a lot of people probably listen to this and think, oh, that's dad rock, that's geezer rock, Black Sabbath is old school. I defy you to put on War Pigs or Paranoid or Black Sabbath and turn it up as loud as you can stand it and not want to bang your head or just move around. Black Sabbath, Paranoid, 1970, number 2 pick. So let's get to the number 1, my most influential album for me personally. Number 1, And Love Said No, Hymn, 2004. So, my number 1 pick for this list is going to be a greatest hits album, And Love Said No, released in 2004 by the Finnish love metal band Hymn. If you're not familiar with their work, I will be the first to admit they're not for everybody. But as somebody who included an album by Ozzy Osbourne and an album by Lana Del Rey on this list, they are right in the middle. So, for me, Villavallo's lyricism, his voice, the instrumental work, is just fantastic. I probably was first exposed to the music of him the same way a lot of American fans were, watching Viva La Bam, watching Jackass. You would constantly see the heartagram all over the place. Got one of my own right there on my knuckle. But I also very much remember buying Bam Margera's self-written, self-directed movie Haggard, and almost the entire soundtrack of that movie is just hymn songs. They do almost the entire thing, a little bit of CKY sprinkled in there, I think. So I remember buying that movie, listening to like the first couple of tracks, and immediately running, of course, back to my neighborhood FYE. This was the only hymn album that store had at the time because they had not blown up at this point in America. Not that they ever really did, but Wings of a Butterfly would come out and they would get a little bit bigger. So for me, And Love Said No, said greatest hits. I was like, fantastic. I can get a little taste of everything. Every song on the album is fantastic. Solitary Man, Buried Alive by Love, And Love Said No, the title track itself. Him has had a huge influence on my life. I've been to 4 of their American shows. Was bummed when they broke up, but Villavallo's coming back for the solo tour. Already got my tickets, bought them day 1. I will be there. His new album just dropped, Neon Noir. It's fantastic. If you are already a Hymn fan, I highly recommend his solo work. It's insanely lyrical and catchy, and it will get stuck in your head for days. But for this video, my number 1 pick, And Love Said No, Hymn, released in 2004. It's just good stuff, man. It's just good, moody, sad, romantic music, which is what I love, which you can definitely pick up from Black Sabbath, Lana Del Rey. Even Mac Miller at times gets into that emotional range. So hopefully that tells you a little bit more about me as a person, my personality, my tastes, the genres I like. If you liked this video, as always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. ring the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. Tell a friend about it. That's the biggest thing. Just like, hey, you should check out this Late Pizza channel. I like the stuff this guy's doing. Help us grow a little bit bigger. My last video blew past 1,000 views in no time. Thank you so much for that. If you supported that video and liked that video, that's fantastic. The next thing that I have coming up is probably going to be something similar to this. I was thinking of doing maybe Steve-O's top 5 movies or top 5 television series, kind of keep this going for 1 or 2 more videos, and then get back to, I'm sure, some more figure unboxing and things like that. As always, thanks for the love and support. You guys have a great one.
And I couldn't find a place.
Wise man say, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.